Hello, and welcome to this episode of the 502 Report. From Shawnee to Shively, violence affects people in our community differently. Take a look at how the Department of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods is encouraging young people to help find a solution.
This is a chance for me to help the community get better and so that there won't be any more violence or family suffering with my family's going to.
The Youth Idea Challenge is really a call out to the youth of Louisville.
Shout out to Louisville. Shout to Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods and Scout. One time for the Urban League on check-in.
We really wanted to solicit ideas from our youth, our teens, our adolescents to really talk a bit about not only the problem of youth violence, but also what are some of the solutions from their perspective.
My project is based on the community coming together. Title is Light Bright, No More Dark Nights. It's based off of my brother, Aaron Williams. He was recently got murdered. When my mom first told me that my brother wasn't coming home, I was devastated and I didn't want to talk to anybody, but my friends at school and counselors, they helped me get through it along with my family. The pain never really goes away, but I'm learning to deal with it.
Having sort of a youth lens, a youth focus around violence prevention is critical, not only because of the multiple ways that they're experiencing violence, but also because we know that over time, that amount of trauma, that exposure to violence can really sort of begin to generate a narrative of hopelessness.
They hear gunshots at night sometimes. It affects them tremendously.
It's not enough to simply say we're in a room full of adults and these are things that we believe are contributing to violence. We really need to be looking at those young folks, those youth and those young adults who are also, being exposed to violence on a large scale and ensure them that there are places where their leadership is needed as we talk about how we as a city are going to address and reduce violence.
The class project started when Lisa saw the One Louisville on the news, and she said, hey, there's this wonderful project that we can involve our kids in. And so she was doing a rap, and I said, hey, you know what, since you're doing hip-hop-based education, I am going to use graffiti and take your song, and we're going to make an art board using the words of your song. So that's how it started.
Yo, 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 listen up, put the gun down, get a new start. People.
I have students that are from different countries, and so they were able to add in what they wanted to add in as well. I have a student who speaks little English, so she wrote hope in Chinese. So everyone was able to help out and to uplift the community in this project.
Education makes much more sense. Violence is not the key.
These are the kind of events and the kind of programs that we're going to continue to do so that youth have that space. If it's not this time, then it certainly will be next time, or some of the different things that we do in between, whether that's a mayor youth chat, an opportunity to come and talk to the mayor about some things that are going on, whether that's participation in our youth implementation team, or whether that's another project or partnership or initiative that we're rolling out. But we're really creating this rich tapestry of how youth are involved and at the table prominently, talking about the things that are affecting them from their perspective.
Throughout the country, heroin is proving to be a deadly drug, and it's no different here in our community.
I started using heroin when I was 21. I thought that I was going to be able to just do it one time, and I'd be okay, but yet I couldn't stop drinking and smoking pot and doing pain pills. It took me down a really hard road.
We have a place where they can come and just get well.
I gotta be rid of selfishness. I gotta get rid of this if I want to stay clean.
Now, 3 years after first trying heroin, McKenna is back in treatment here at Ladies of Promise.
We offer recovery dynamics. We offer all kind of learning for sobriety. We teach them how to have a life beyond addiction, and that's what makes us special.
It's not just about me anymore. I found out I was 5 weeks pregnant, and it's not just for that reason. Heroin stripped me of everything, and it takes what it takes, But I'm just really ready to get my life together.
We don't go to shooting galleries, we go to meetings. When we think we want to use, we pick up the phone, we call somebody and say, help me. Y'all wasn't doing that out there.
The body aches and the pain that they have to endure in order to get recovered, they can't go through that. So they use because they can't go through the pain. It won't last always. It will stop. They just don't let it stop before they use again.
I've done it there once before, so I know that it's possible to do it.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Sobriety is amazing. When I had it, I was really happy. I want to get that back.
Who's gonna stay sober today?
Our health department is working with local partners and agencies to help prevent overdoses and encourage treatment.
If he doesn't wake up, he's in an overdose. 1 is call the ambulance.
We've been coming to the health department
2, rescue breathing.
monthly to do trainings on naloxone.
We're on step 3. We're going to give them medication.
Giving naloxone out to the community members who come to our trainings.
I just want to be ready.
Naloxone blocks heroin from attaching to the receptors in the brain, and it can bring a person out of an opiate overdose.
I would hate not be able to take care of somebody.
Yeah. There have been days when we've given out 88 kits, 60 kits.
It's that quick, really. Yeah.
People from the community who are coming in who know someone who's using drugs, and they want to have a kit available to if they have to use one. Now it's just coming out to the general public because of the amount of heroin use today.
Yeah, it's become a national epidemic, the heroin issue, and it's hitting Kentucky and Louisville pretty hard.
You can be anywhere and somebody's going to overdose because they use the drugs and they go on with their life like it's a normal thing. And when they drop, you don't know what's wrong with them.
Medication, boom.
We're making a big difference because one time Kentucky was number 3 in opiate overdoses. Now they're down to number 4, and we're making sure that more naloxone is on the street in the hands of the people who need it.
It's not your historical, stereotypical drug epidemic. The heroin's really, it's hitting a new population and it's affecting a lot of families across our entire community. The needle exchange program is a safe place where IV drug users can come to switch out needles that they've used with brand new clean needles. We had estimated 500 participants last year and we opened in June and we're already at 2,800 participants. Way more than we anticipated. It's a much needed service, but the heroin epidemic is hitting a lot more people than we ever thought. We've tested almost 300 people for hepatitis C and HIV, and so getting people connected to medical services and over 160 people into treatment as well too. So really trying to help with the harm reduction side of the heroin epidemic.
To learn more about the syringe exchange or naloxone classes, call 574-6520. And if you're interested in drug or alcohol treatment, you can call Ladies of Promise at 384-5807. Louisville's ranked among the 20 deadliest cities for pedestrians. Why is that, and what's being done to help residents share the road?
I believe that pedestrians are the lifeblood of our cities. We definitely have to be inclusive with our public space, and the street is our public space, so making sure that we are considerate and provide safe accommodations for pedestrians is definitely a priority.
The Department of Public Works and Assets has noticed an alarming trend when it comes to pedestrians.
Louisville, unfortunately, has a higher rate of pedestrian fatalities than the national average, and that's something, obviously, that we want to change.
Over the past couple of years, we've dove into our pedestrian crash data, and we noticed that we average 16 pedestrian fatalities a year.
What we've tried for years is, okay, the pedestrian has the right of way, and vehicles, you should wait and let that pedestrian go. And that has not been as effective as we would like.
Donald Scobie works downtown and uses the sidewalks regularly.
I was on my way to a job at the Kentucky Center for the Arts early one snowy morning.
Scobie learned firsthand that sometimes even following the rules can nearly cost you your life.
I'm walking across the intersection and I hear this crunching noise behind me. Immediately after that, I felt something hit my leg and I went down and I saw the edge of a pickup truck coming sliding by my head.
Donald Scobie was caught up in the aftermath of an accident when 2 vehicles collided after one ran a red light. Testimonials, such as his, are all too common. Public Works and Assets is reaching beyond engineering projects and working to disseminate information to pedestrians and motorists alike to help keep everyone safe.
We've created a Safe Streets for Adults presentation where we bring this quick 10-minute presentation about how people who are walking on our city streets can make themselves a little safer. So we're really trying to take a 3-prong approach, and that is doing education, doing some engineering efforts, and then following it up with enforcement with our LMPD folks.
Inattention by motorists and pedestrians not being visible are cited as leading factors in the cause of crashes. Public Works is continuously looking for innovative ways to make the streets safe for anyone, regardless of what kind of transportation they use. As new efforts are implemented around Jefferson County, the goal remains the same.
Safety is the #1 priority, period. I can't think of anything more important that government can do than improve conditions for safety for its citizens.
I'd like to see 0 fatals and 0 pedestrian injuries and crashes. Every year that goes by that we have 1 less fatal or 1 less crash is a good thing, but we got to get down to 0.
Pedestrians and motorists alike can help improve the situation by following a few basic concepts. Stay visible, stay alert, and follow the rules of the road.
Our pedestrian safety slogan is Look Alive, Louisville. It's a very practical thing. If you are about to cross the street, look. The Look Alive slogan applies equally to motorists. When you're entering an intersection, look for the possibility that pedestrians are there and expect them to be there, particularly if you're going to turn.
People in cars have to watch out. But in Louisville, we're still a car culture. As a pedestrian, you've got to watch out. Don't cross in the middle of the block. It's just asking to be hit.
Take your earbuds out. If you have a hood up, pull it off your head so you can see and be a little more aware of your surroundings. We got to coexist, and we all have to do what we need to do in order to keep ourselves safe so we get home at night.
A new report details the city's strategic transportation plan for the next 20 years. Among the top goals are maintaining existing infrastructure instead of building more, and encouraging people to walk or bike instead of drive, especially on trips that are 3 miles or less.
And we'll do that by increasing the number of mobility options, like you see in all other cities, as well as providing smoother access between workplaces and residential neighborhoods.
Compared to similar-sized cities throughout the country, Louisville commuters rank among the highest for driving alone and among the lowest for using alternate means of transportation.
And if we can make it easier for citizens to walk and bike or have alternate transportation those short distances, we become a healthier city. Reducing our vehicle miles traveled also improves our air quality. And we talk about that a lot. We made great progress, but we need to make more. Reducing our vehicle miles also reduces traffic congestion, which nobody enjoys.
The Move Louisville report also outlines $762 million in projects to be built over the next 20 years. To learn more, Google Move Louisville. In spring, along with the flowers, you'll find potholes popping up all over the city.
Besides sunshine and March Madness, it's also the season when we get out and fix these potholes that are left behind after the winter season.
There are a couple of new tools to report potholes in Louisville. You can send a tweet of the pothole location to Twitter hashtag #502pothole.
Now all I will do is tweet this out. It's being monitored by our top-notch staff at Metro Collin Public Works.
Or you can go to the city's webpage, louisvilleky.gov, and click on the Report a Pothole link at the top left of the page. Then fill out the information. A new MO team with members from the Department of Codes and Regulations and Metro Corrections will be able to cover more territory this year.
The addition of one crew will allow the city to make approximately 7,700 cuts this summer, up from 5,700 last year.
New regulations are in place to clean up litter and graffiti on Ozone Action Days, and Metro Parks is also adding more natural areas to our parks to cut down on overall mowing.
One mower running for 1 hour is equivalent of about 10 cars adding to the pollutants into the atmospheres. So you can imagine by adding more acres of no mow or naturalization areas to the parks, we're helping in deactivating the ozone layer, so to speak.
The Parklands of Floyd's Fork is now complete. The $125 million park system includes playgrounds and spray grounds, beautiful natural areas, and trails for hiking, biking, and paddling along the Floyd's Fork stream. The new, nearly 400-acre, donor-supported park system is a public-private partnership and was created within 5 years. Learn more at theparklands.org.
If you're not exporting yet, you just don't know you're getting ready to, because it's truly a global economy.
Small businesses need to look to the international markets to survive and thrive in today's economy. And thanks to about $170,000 in grants from the Bluegrass Economic Advancement Movement, or BEAM, more Kentucky-made products are now available overseas.
They've helped 40 companies now in the region do things like attend international trade shows, carry out some customized meeting agendas.
BEAM accounts for more than half of Kentucky's exports, which totaled more than $28 billion in 2015. Mayor Fischer encourages compassion, but what does that really mean? It's as simple as every resident of Louisville doing just a little something to help make our community stronger.
2 more.
This is really the first big event of Give a Day Week. Here we've got hundreds of volunteers, but think this week we'll probably have around 175,000 volunteers and acts of compassion throughout our city, defining our interconnectedness, our belief in that, our values in compassion and kindness and love. And when you see all this crazy stuff going on in these presidential debates describing a country none of us really can relate to, this is what our country's about right here. It's people helping each other, it's people lifting each other up, it's people caring about each other. And that's what Give a Day is all about.
We are here to build beds for some of our children. So we had some families, about 6 families that we had referred for some of the beds. It's heartwarming that everybody just came together and is really collaborating together to make something happen.
Because this shows that it's not just one organization working together, but it takes every organization, the entire team to come together, not just the people that are here, but the different businesses who have donated the materials for us. So it truly is a act of the whole community.
Louisville's a giving city, but when you do things like this, people aren't working in silos. Everyone's working together. So that's the meaning of collaboration, and that's what Louisville is all about.
Well, 5 years in, well over 500,000 volunteers and acts of compassion right now. It gets bigger every year. This year will probably be around 175,000 volunteers, acts of compassion. And what's neat is to see all the kind of creative stuff that's going on that people are doing themselves to figure out how they can give, whether they're computer programmers or musicians or in the healthcare business. And the one I just came from was the Build-A-Bed, where we're building 100 beds for kids in public school system that don't have a bed. And that took months of planning, hundreds of people coming together. But what's neat about it goes from this concept of compassion and helping people to literally somebody having a bed tonight. A young person in our community didn't have one. So to me, that kind of really sums up the whole effort.
Litter is lame. We're Girl Scouts and we're picking up trash. We're picking up litter on the ground to make the world a better place. The world is kind of dirty. It's like people throwing trash on the ground. And us Girl Scouts and other people need to be picking up trash.
Our troop started doing this when they were daisies in the 1st grade. I feel like getting them in the habit of giving back and of taking care of the place that they live instills in them early that we need to appreciate our resources and take care of our world. I think this is a very rewarding experience. I think the girls feel a lot of pride. If you can do one little thing every day to leave something better than you found it, if everybody did that, which is what Give a Day I think is all about, then those little things all add up to make our city a much better and more beautiful place that's full of people that care about our community and want to volunteer.
Taylor's an example of one guy stepping up and saying, hey, I've got an idea. And then 100 plus of his brothers show up to make our city a better place. So great leadership here.
Organization is hard. Like getting guys out here early in the morning, it is hard. Getting a strong presence that other people see what you're doing and you can lead by example. And when other people see a large group and they see you having fun and laughing, it just attracts people to want to be a part of that. So that's what we're really going for with all of this.
We've had 40 different cities benchmark Give a Day and what we're doing in our city as well and take that back to theirs. The original idea was start this, have it be the kickoff week for the Kentucky Derby Festival since we race everything there. And so we wanted to start a race with other cities, a race toward compassion, a race toward helping other people. And I just think that's what's innate with people. They want to do that. They want to help each other. But there's not enough people talking about it and getting out and getting after it. So for our city to be a platform for that and to see our citizens respond, over 165,000 last year, I think sends a signal to the rest of the world that something special is happening here, and we want that something special to happen in every city in the country.
Okay, so which 2 points did you use?
The ESL Newcomer Academy is part of Jefferson County Public Schools. It's for students who are in their first year or two in the United States, and they're all beginning English learners. Everyone here has an accent. They're all learning together. Hussein is a pretty amazing student. He was one of our first Syrian students to come to us.
It's a different country, it's a different culture.
We know that he's had a difficult background, but he is very determined and very resilient. He's very charming and he loves to help people.
I'm going to Kentucky refugee. They said, and this day we have some bicycle. It's a free bicycle. My first one. I bought this box for shopping from Kroger. The bicycle, he helped me for everything. I going shopping in the bicycle. I going to anyway. When I take the bicycle and I won't going, he say hi for me. The mayor.
Welcome, everybody. I know many of you have come a long way and from difficult circumstances to be here. 1 year ago, this young man, he was also new to Louisville. And 1 year ago, he was a shy, timid refugee kid new to this country. Came from a really war-torn, ravaged city of Homs in Iraq. His father, unfortunately, had been killed. When he got this bicycle here last year, his face lit up. His mom told me it was the first time he'd smiled in 2 years.
Careful, Dave.
Okay, let's have the bikes. You like this one? Oh yeah, it'll work fine. We'll need to move the seat up for him a little bit. But
Why don't you take it back?
good job, buddy. It just becomes one of the tools that he has to make his life better, and that better for his mom. Since then, he has become proficient at speaking English. He's a leader in the Newcomer Academy. He's transitioning to Fern Creek High School next year. He's getting ready to go to college to become a doctor. So it really shows you how quickly progress can be made.
So just don't forget your equation.
The best way to integrate people into any society is surround them with support and services, compassion, and now he will become one of the greatest citizens that our city's ever had because he's seen the generosity that Americans have and that Louisvillians have.
I think I have future here.
And speaking of compassion, about 5,000 students marched through downtown Louisville as part of Kentucky's We Day, an international effort to get youth involved in positively changing their part of the world. They do this by raising awareness, volunteering, and collecting items like canned goods. William Shakespeare might have lived a long time ago, but his work is still appreciated today.
As Gremio says in Taming of the Shrew, oh, this learning, what a thing it is.
In honor of what is believed to be the 400th anniversary of William Shakespeare's death, Louisville is celebrating with dozens of events and special exhibits.
From Shakespeare-themed programs for kids and teens, to book discussions and film showings, to a college-level short course. And the library is especially excited to host our own exhibit called Shakespeare in Kentucky, which will explore the history of Shakespeare and Shakespearean performances in the state.
The 8-month celebration of Shakespeare will culminate in a special traveling exhibit at the Fraser History Museum in November and December. It'll include the first folio, which is the first collected edition of Shakespeare's plays.
A proud city congratulates Sue and honors you on this day.
One of Louisville's own is being recognized for her work with a larger-than-life-sized Hometown Hero banner at Spring Hill Suites on the corner of Brook and Jefferson Streets. Sue Grafton, who was born and raised in Louisville, is best known for her international best-selling series of alphabet mystery novels that started with A is for Alibi in 1982. No, it's not 1970, but the disco era will be back in time for Derby at 4th Street Live thanks to this huge disco ball.
Our innovation that we have here in our city, and today's just another one of those days where you're going to see it in action here.
It's the largest in the state of Kentucky, and organizers are not planning on stopping there. They're raising money to build the world's largest disco ball, 67 feet in diameter.
We understand that this is a crazy idea, but we live in a city that embraces crazy ideas, and we have leaders that embrace our community spirit.
If you'd like to contribute to the effort, go to LouisvilleDiscoBallYall.com. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the 502 Report. Until next time, take care.
Metro TV, a public service of Louisville Metro government.